You are now watching Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times! What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so already, please shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you're a new viewer to this channel, please shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. So, a couple days ago, Screen Rant dropped an article touching on Kyle Gallner's character in Scream 5, Vince Snyder, aka Vince Mocker, potentially being alive, as Kyle Gallner himself responded to a fan's tweet on Twitter suggesting that the character could be alive in Scream 6 and could be revealed as Ghostface. So without wasting any more time, let's get into what the article reads. And the article goes on to read, Scream 2022 star Kyle Gallner jokingly teases Scream 6's Ghostface identity. The Scream movies are well known for being satirical, takes on a slasher genre, but they are also whodunits, asking the characters and audiences to try and guess who the new killer is each time. While Gallner's character Vince, the scuzzy nephew of the original killer Stu Macher, portrayed by Matthew Lillard, was an early suspect, he was quickly dispatched by Ghostface, and thus had his name cleared. On Twitter, Gallner shared a response to a Twitter user asking if he would be returning in the new Scream film. So as you can see here, the Twitter user by the name of SethBobOMB, or at the famous Seth, goes on to say, "Hi at Kyle Gallner, are you in some way in Scream 6? To where you see Kyle Gallner respond, "Yeah man, I'm Ghostface. It's really rad how they bring me in. Can't wait for everyone to see it." The article then goes on to continue saying, he jokingly proclaimed that, "Yeah man, I'm Ghostface. While the upcoming Scream 6 almost certainly won't feature Gallner, he has at least proven himself very willing to continue to engage about his role in the previous film." While Vince is the unlikeliest suspect to be the next Ghostface considering the knife wound in his neck, there have been buzzy theories about his uncle. Despite Stu Macher's death in the original 1996 Scream, Lillard has made cameos in both 97 Scream 2 and 2022 Scream. So, it was theorized that he could return in the new entry. This could potentially be corroborated by the fact that the Scream 6 Ghostface seems to be using a cracked and aged mask from the original killings. Other returning characters are also under suspicion this time around. This includes Kirby Reed, portrayed by Hayden Panettiere, who mysteriously survived her supposed death in 2011 Scream 4 and is back to help the surviving characters in New York City. The Scream 6 trailer is also pushing suspicion on the previous final girl Samantha Carpenter, portrayed by Melissa Barrera, of being so affected by the previous slayings that she has donned the mask herself. However, the most likely suspects in Scream 6 continue to be the new ensemble members who have joined the cast. This includes Jack Champion, who had a breakout role as Spider in Avatar: The Way of the Water, Henry Czerny, Liana Liberato, Devin Nakota, Tony Revolori, Josh Segarra, and Samara Weaving. Also on hand is Dermot Mulroney as Detective Bailey, who likely won't be as kind-hearted as Deputy Dewey in the original series. Okay everyone, so as the article reads, this was obviously a joke by Kyle Gallner. He didn't really give away the fact that he was Ghostface or that he is Ghostface in Scream 6 or the possibility that his character is returning in Scream 6. He was obviously just making a joke, with this fan who obviously might think, or at least thinks that, there's a way that you can bring Vince Snyder back into the fold. I would like to think that this person, Seth, believes that, which is why he asked that question. So let's play with this theory for a second, okay? Let's play with the theory that Vince Snyder, could very much well be alive in Scream 6. You're gonna ask, well, how did that happen? We've seen him get stabbed in the neck and bleed out profusely in Scream 5, and you are very well true at that statement. We did see that. However, this would not be the first movie especially within the last 5 years. This would not be the first horror movie that has taken this route in terms of one of the characters getting stabbed in the neck but returning in a sequel. If you're wondering who I'm talking about, here goes a clip showcasing who I'm talking about.
Get away from the body. Stand back. I'm not going to say it again. Step away from the suspect. Step away.
Okay, everyone, so obviously that was a clip from Halloween 2018, the scene where Dr. Sartain stabs Deputy Hawkins in the neck with his penknife. Now, obviously, is that penknife as long or as sharp or as lethal as Ghostface's hunting buck knife? No, it is not. But it's the principle that Deputy Hawkins got stabbed in the neck, bled out profusely, along with other punishments such as getting ran over with his own police car, and still lived to make it to Halloween Kills and to Halloween Ends. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because we know for a fact that Scream heavily homages and references Halloween. They have always done that in the Scream franchise. So, it's not impossible to think that with the Vince Snyder character, they could be homaging the Deputy Hawkins character in Scream 6. They could be homaging that character in Halloween and bring Vince Snyder back, being that he did get stabbed in the neck, much like Deputy Hawkins, but he potentially survived his neck wound. Now, again, is it unlikely? Very much so. But, again, it's not impossible, and I like to think that I just showcased why it's not impossible. Now, what's really juicy about this theory of Vince Snyder's character being alive and potentially being Ghostface revealed in Scream 6 is that he has an easier path in terms of characters that we believe to be dead coming back and being revealed as Ghostface. He has an easier path to this than Stu Macher, Angelina Tyler, Charlie Walker, so on and so forth, names that we have mentioned throughout the community and here on this channel as possible Ghostface killers who could actually be alive and return in Scream 6. Well, what makes this juicy and what makes it more possible and easier to do with Vince Snyder's character is the fact that Vince was never revealed as a Ghostface killer. He was basically revealed as a victim. He was not revealed as a Ghostface killer, which would make the fact of him coming back all the more easier to do, because now you don't have to do a crazy backstory explaining how and why he is alive, how he escaped police custody, how he didn't end up in a psych ward, so on and so forth. All these things that we talk about in terms of the Stu Macher character coming back, so on and so forth. You don't have to do that with Vince. All you have to do is basically say he survived his neck wound. Everybody thought he was dead, but he actually survived. Now, again, we do hear Chad reference Vince to being dead in Scream 5. We do hear that. However, for all Chad knows is that Vince is dead, but for all they know is that they don't know that he survived. And the reason why that is important is because they wouldn't need to know he survived. He's not a Ghostface killer. There's no reason for them to know that he's alive. He's a Ghostface killer, and he had no real ties to any of them outside of Tara and Liv. Now, that's another interesting thing about the Vince Snyder character that we never really got full on, detail about is what was the extent of his relationship with Tara Carpenter. We know the extent of his relationship with Liv McKenzie, but we never knew the extent of his relationship with Tara Carpenter. But again, for all the core four characters they know that Vince Snyder is dead. They wouldn't know that he could potentially be alive, because it's not like him or anybody else would be rushing to tell them, because again, he was never revealed as a Ghostface killer. So, again, is this unlikely? Is this theory unlikely? Very, very much so. I do not believe that Vince Snyder's character will return in Scream 6, and I do not believe he will be revealed as a Ghostface killer in Scream 6. I definitely think that Kyle was obviously just joking here in this instance. But I definitely wanted to do this video and, explain why the theory of Vince Snyder being alive in Scream 6 is not all that impossible when you really break it down and think about it, especially when you think about how the franchise homages Halloween and references Halloween. And then obviously in Halloween 2018, we see Deputy Hawkins get stabbed in the neck, where we all thought that he was dead. And then obviously at the beginning of Halloween Kills, they revealed that he did survive his wound. So again, is the thought and the theory of Vince Snyder being alive and surviving his neck wound unlikely? Very much so. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible, especially in the Scream franchise. But okay, everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know you guys' thoughts on Kyle Gallner's response to the fan on Twitter. Do you think that he was really just kidding with the guy, or do you think that there's some underlining legitimacy behind it, and that there's a big possibility that his character, Vince Snyder, could return in Scream 6 and be revealed as Ghostface? As well as let me know your thoughts on the evidence that I provided in this video that could potentially be a way to bring back the Vince Snyder character in Scream 6 as a potential Ghostface killer. Hit the comment section. You know I always love to conversate and hear from you guys. Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.